All praises, all praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, the stars, the earth, the mountains, the oceans, the valleys, the seas, the clouds, all creeping things, humanity, and all there is. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. Happy, holy Sabbath, family. We are back together, convening and congregating and convocating and aggregating in the greatest level of honor and humility and appreciation to the holy power creator for his extension, for the grace and blessing, for another 7 days of the gift of breath and life. And to this we say all praises. And we are also in the season of the heavenly holy Passover, the holiest day of the Israelite calendar, as we are also celebrating the dawning of the new year. And family, my greatest level of humility, pleasure, and privilege to be before you continuously for the 30th week of the Sabbath Wisdom series, which is a testament of our duration, our education, our commitment, and our soul salvation. And as we are stepping up to the threshold of transition in the Revelations.Unveiled Detroit den, where we will surrender our common carnality and expose our cranial universes and bear forth our souls to receive the power and the fire and the heat of the word and the wisdom of the power of all creation and imagination. All praises into the 12 tribes of the house of Jacob scattered abroad wherever you may sojourn. My continuous petition and prayer for your care and safety. I love you. And to my brothers and sisters of the world, the pending Israelites, those who refer to themselves as the melanated Moors, the original man and children of God, the sovereigns and sojourners, the copper-colored, the colored and people of color, the natives and Negroes and niggas, the aboriginals and indigenous, the African Americans and blacks, the descendants of slaves, and those conquered and colonized. Oh yes, and we are blessed as we are here in the greatest level of compassion, concern, and love and safety as we are here in our consensual assembly, as we are looking for our warm, soft space in the place where we will become still and become quiet, so that we may begin to receive, so that we may perceive and believe as we continue on our escalation and elevation in the excellence of the wonderments of the universe. All praises, and we have a full fat stack. So we will serve this dish up on 2 plates. And so for our beginning episode, we will continue with the mystery of the history of the nation of the holy set apart people, those who have been conquered and colonized and scattered into a global captivity and lost their identity. All praises. And without further ado, because we have much to do, we shall begin at the Revelations.Unveiled Detroit channel standards in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Followed by our second heavenly eternal standard in the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8, in reference to the holy anointed Messiah, the wonderful, the Redeemer, the Savior, the King of Israel, whom the world refers to as Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. And as we began to step upon that righteous road and we began our sachet and our saunter, we shall stroll by and pay our respects to the holy prophet brother Isaiah as we reference his scroll in the 28th chapter, verses 9 through 11. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Oh yes, family, as we have donned our helmet and grasped our shield and we wield the sword of our salvation, we shall continue with the wonderful breakdown of the history of the nation. And from our last episode, we were introduced to the holy prophet Elijah as he had left the company of the king of Ahab and sojourned in a foreign land with a widow and her son. And her son became ill and fell into death. And the woman was in despair. And the holy prophet Elijah performed the prayer of petition and was blessed with the miracle of touch to extend as a witness of the holy power, the force of life back into the young one. And family, we shall continue with the exploits of the holy prophet brother Elijah in the book of 1 Kings chapter 18 verses 1 through 15. And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, show yourself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. And Elijah went and showed himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. For it was so, when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said unto Obadiah, Go into the land until all the fountains of the water and to all the brooks, peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all of the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass through it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him, and fell on his face and said, Art thou that my lord Elijah? And he answered him, I am. Go, tell thy lord, behold, Elijah is here. And he said, What have I sinned that you would deliver your servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? As the Lord your God liveth, there is no nation or kingdom whether the Lord hath not sent to seek you. And when they said, He is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation that they found you not. And now you say, Go tell your Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And it shall come to pass as soon as I am gone from you, that the Spirit of the Lord shall carry you whither I know not. And so when I come to tell Ahab, and he cannot find you, he shall slay me. But I, your servant, fear the Lord from my mouth. Verse 13, was it not told my Lord what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord, how I hid 100 men of the Lord's prophets by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water? And now you sayest, Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. And Elijah said, As the Lord of hosts lives, before whom I stand. I will surely show myself unto him today. All right, family. All right, it's getting ready for some action to go down. We are now introduced to another holy prophet, Brother Obadiah. So now, we are now beginning to weave together how the word of the wisdoms work. We were introduced to King Solomon. We were introduced to the building of the temple. We were introduced to Solomon's son. We were introduced to Solomon's sin. We were introduced to the splitting of the holy nation, the northern kingdom of the 9 tribes and the southern kingdom of the 3 tribes. And now we have begun to follow the lines of the kings, the sons of Jeroboam, who was the servant of King Solomon, and the kings of Rehoboam, who was the son of King Solomon. And now we are within the lines of the kings, King Ahab of the northern tribes, and we now are dealing with 2 prophets of the Lord, Brother Elijah and Brother Obadiah. All right, family, Lord willing, as we continue with the series, we shall continue with this adventure and escapade. And as we have affixed that armor, and we have grounded our feet, squared our shoulders, we prepare to dip our head and head down this hallway of avarice and adversity and affliction and alienation, as we prepare for the pings and the pangs and the prongs and the pounds and the punctures to the pineal all the way to the pituitary, as we get ready for the profound and perfect precepts of Proverbs chapter 30, verse 1. The words of Agur, the son of Jacob, even the prophecy. The man spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Ucal. So we are going to hear the words of Brother Agur, the son of Jackie. Verse 2. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who has ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you can tell? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Even, verse 6, add you not unto his words, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. 2 things have I required of you. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse you, and you be found guilty. There's a generation that curses their father and does not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The horse leech has 2 daughters, crying, "Give, give." There are 3 things that are never satisfied. Yeah, 4 things say not. It is enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that says not, it is enough. The eye that mocks at his father and despises to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. There be 3 things which are too wonderful for me, 4 which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent on a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4 which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigns, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman when she is married, and an handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There are 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth all of them by bands. The spider takes hold with her hands and is in kings' palaces. There be 3 things which go well. 4 are comely in going. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turns not away for any. A greyhound, and he-goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If you have done foolishly in lifting up yourself, or if you have thought evil, lay your hand upon your mouth. Verse 33. Surely the churning of milk brings forth butter, and the wringing of the nose brings forth blood. So the forcing of wrath brings forth strife. All right, family. That was 33 precise javelins into the cranial cortex to begin that severe wound of salvation to ooze that sauce of the serenity and the solace of perfection. All praises. Oh yes, family. And so, as we shall marinate at this time on the mystery of our history and those pounding precepts of Proverbs, we shall continue shortly with the continuation of the history and wisdoms of wonderment of the Sabbath Wisdom Series, Week-30. So, go grab a snack. We'll be right back. All praises.